Okay, I am so proud of you for sticking with me, and hopefully you're gaining this amazing, deepest spiritual truths that have been revealed to us, revealing our own soul, spiritual technology, and this is another one of those. So it's a little sad to speak about this, but it's really super critical to speak about this. Right now, I'm going to be dealing with overcoming anxiety. Last time we spoke about the difference between love and fear. Now, love is a positive feeling. Fear and anxiety, what is anxiety? I heard a lecture from one of the top people in the country on it. Basically, anxiety is fear. And what is fear? Fear is the feeling that you are unsafe. And putting it into more practical words, fear is the sense that you are in danger, right? That's why we have something called post-traumatic stress syndrome. So we have soldiers and they're trained and all this beautiful stuff. Unfortunately, this very day, 20 soldiers have committed suicide, as every day. And it doesn't take a little bit to commit suicide. People are going through a lot of stress. So what happened? What caused that stress? The answer is they were literally in danger. And that danger doesn't necessarily only have to be to your physical body. It could be to your emotional self. It could be to your dignity, to your self-esteem from a bully or whatever. And now you still feel like you're in danger. And it's very hard. It's very hard to get rid of that feeling. And anybody that's had anxiety knows that it is hell on earth. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Now, my job right now is to help you overcome anxiety. Because if you do have anxiety, you can't expect much of yourself. You can't expect to function excuse me. Can't expect to function in a state of love. You can't expect to function in all these great tips that I'm telling you. Your brain is like, oh my God, just like keep me safe. It's a serious thing. And I've been through a point of anxiety from basically a bully. And it took me years and a great situation to get out of it. And I'm very lucky I had all this information. I was able to deal with it. I had the freedom and the time and all the support and all the stuff. A lot of people are living in constant anxiety. They're basically post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's what they have. And I could actually understand these soldiers, 50% of people that are homeless, that's a choice that they make. And some of these soldiers, they become very, very sensitive. Because when a person has anxiety, like I said last time, you become very sensitive to any stimulus that might trigger you, because you're kind of very, very, I don't know if the word is right, but you're shaking, your frequency is very high and the nervousness is high. So anything little will push the person higher. They don't want to go higher because we don't like to be nervous. We like to be calm. That's a more comfortable state. And so it's super critical to feel safe. Now, there are only 3 things you need to do to feel safe. The first thing, we mentioned this exercise at the end of chapter 4, but the concept we mentioned in chapter 3, which is, and this really helped me in life, if you can see the good and bad, the bad can become good. Again, what is anxiety? It is fear. Fear of what? Fear of danger. But what if the same thing is a blessing? It's not a curse. So, for example, if you say somebody's going to strap you and pull out your tooth, I'm going to be like, whoa, anxiety. But let's say I say, you know what? Go to the dentist because your tooth is killing you. He's going to strap you down and pull out your tooth. You're going to be like, yes, let me go. So you see the concept that a person will be able to look forward in life. Remember, you're looking at the danger, and the danger, even if you're not consciously looking at it, some level you're looking at it. The concept that you're going to look forward in life That concept is so super critical. Now, again, if you can look at the past and flip it, that it's not a danger, it's a blessing. Everything that happens to you comes for you, not against you. Rabbi Dukes, who unfortunately recently passed away, he went through terrible suffering, terrible suffering. He said that, if you imagine pain, I mean, the doctors, they always ask pain, is it 1 to 10? He went through things that were 15, they were 20. But he had a spiritual mentor that told him, this is not happening to you, this is happening for you. When you can understand that what happens in life is a gift, because that's the truth. God doesn't hurt us. Now, it may hurt, but God doesn't hurt us. For example, I'm a father and I have a child. I don't hurt my children. Now, I don't really do corporal punishments, but even if I did and I smacked my child, I wouldn't do it because I hate my child. I do it because I love my child. Proof is, I wouldn't do it to anyone else's child because I care about my child's behavior and I want the best for him. Or whatever punishment you give your child, you're doing it out of love. So the point is that if you realize that because God is a God of everyone, and he's, like we said a couple times ago, that he is organizing life to teach all of us. So everything's happening for you, not against you, for you. Now, it may be somebody else did something because they were malicious, but God was just using them to get you to another state. I can honestly say in my life, I've been through some tough stuff, but my greatest curses were my greatest blessings. Why? Did they hurt the most? They hurt the most. But those were the things that grew me the most. In fact, Jung said there's no birth of consciousness except through pain, because we're just happy-go-lucky until somebody hits us over the head and we're like, hey, what happened? And we got to there's stress. And actually the Army has discovered this, very interesting. It's called post-traumatic stress growth. And if you ask people 5 years after they've gone through the trauma, and often they still are traumatized, but you say, would you give up the trauma? And I write about this in my book. Would I give up the experiences that I had? Never in a million years. Why? Because those are the experiences that shaped my life, that brought me consciousness, that made me more aware. That's the greatest blessing that could have happened to me. And so the point is that if you can see these tragedies as growth experiences, particularly if you can see the growth itself, it will change it. The second thing is you have to understand that if you've prayed to God, we've spoken about praying to God, and you don't understand what's going on, there is a master plan. Now, just like a child will gain safety and security from the fact that they know their parent. Children don't know, you tell your child, a little child, come, we're going to the store. Yeah, we're going to go to the store. We're going here. Okay, yeah. Because the child trusts you. So if you can gain trust in God, you will be okay. And the third thing, we discussed this more in chapter 5 in the exercise, but it's a very, very important exercise, and I do this every day, and it's amazing, is that, and this is a very important concept. You see, the more we're grateful, it says, Lahagid ba'boker chazdecha v'monoscha ba'leilis. I sing the praises of God in the morning and my faith and trust in the evening. What does that mean? When things are good and we're singing God's praises, it gives us the emotional belief that when things are bad, we have someone to rely on. But if we are thinking that we're the masters of our destiny and everything's okay and it was all because of me, so when things are bad, whose fault is it? It's my fault. Who do I blame? I blame me. So you see, belief in God is so powerful because it takes you away from all that self-blame.